Zayn carried Elias through the still-burning threshold of the vampire gates, the prince's unconscious form cradled in his arms. The direwolf had claimed what was his, and now he returned to where it had all begun, his old pack's land. The moment he crossed into the territory, silence fell. The earth itself seemed to hold its breath. Wolves shifted back into their human forms, slowly and cautiously emerging from the tree line. They felt the ancient power making them submitting. One by one they dropped to one knee. The presence that walked among them was not just Zayn. It was the direwolf, the myth that extinct, the omega they discarded, now their alpha by force of blood and legend. Zayn's eyes scanned the bowing forms. No words, just the thunderous energy of dominance rolling off him like heat waves. He carried Elias into the old alpha's quarters. The wooden door groaned under his touch. He laid Elias gently on the fur bed in the center of the room. The wolf wasn't done. Elias stirred, eyelids fluttering as the scent hit him. Power, wild and ancient. He blinked up to find Zayn leaning over him, eyes still glowing, body radiating heat and control. "Zayn, don't," he whispered. But Zayn didn't answer. The wolf did. "You don't get to ask anymore." He leaned in and kissed him, forceful, possessive, the kind of kiss that demanded submission. Elias gasped into it, hands pushing weakly against Zayn's chest, but the wolf growled low and deep, and Elias stilled. The kiss broke only so Zayn could drag his lips down Elias's jaw to the pulse at his neck. He licked slowly, tasting the bond beneath the skin. Elias shuddered. "Please, I was wrong, I see that now, just don't do this." A sharp sound, Zayn's fangs clicking close to his throat. "You've been driving me mad," Zayn growled, his voice deep, wolfish. His mouth trailed down to Elias's throat, fangs brushing the mark. "You're mine." Elias trembled as Zayn's touch became more demanding, palms sliding under his clothes, breath hot, kisses harsh and hungry. There was no gentleness now, only hunger, only heat. Zayn kissed him like he had something to prove, like Elias's mouth had the answers to everything that had ever gone wrong between them. Elias moaned softly, hands gripping Zayn's back as the wolf's dominance overwhelmed him. He didn't fight it. He couldn't resist the pull of the bond, and he finally accepted their fate. When it was all over, when the wolf got his satisfaction, Elias was already unconscious on the bed as a result of the rough treatment. Looking at his claimed mate, the wolf breathed deep, satisfied. And then, slowly, Zayn was able to gain the control back and returned. The room felt colder, quieter. He looked at Elias, unconscious, pale, marked. Zayn knelt beside him, trembling. The shame curled tight in his chest. He brushed Elias's hair back. "I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be like this," he whispered. He carried Elias back to the vampire compound, where stunned guards and medics parted for him like shadows before a storm. Zayn placed him on the healer's cot. Then, before anyone could ask, accuse, or beg, he vanished into the dark. No triumph, no absolution, just the bond between them, alive and unrelenting. Elias woke to silence, but his chest screamed. A searing molten ache radiated from his neck, burning down into his ribs like wildfire. His hands scrambled for something to hold, cloth, a railing, anything. But all he found was cold sheets and the echo of his own scream. The bond had taken root, without consent, without preparation, without mercy. Now it punished him. He screamed again, his back arching off the bed. Magic sparked under his skin like electrical fire. He saw flashes, images that weren't his own. Zayn curled in the rain, Zayn bleeding in front of the academy, Zayn looking up at him with eyes full of silent, agonizing hope. And I ignored it, Elias thought. I broke him. Now it came flooding back, wave after wave of pain. The same pain Zayn had felt when he rejected the bond. He clutched his chest, panting. "Zayn, what did I do?" The bond wasn't just a thread anymore. It was a chain, dragging him down. He could feel Zayn's rage, his sorrow, the weight of rejection that had crushed him. It was all there, imprinted in the mark, burned into Elias's soul. Footsteps pounded outside. A healer burst into the room, followed by an elder. "Prince Elias, your vitals, your body's reacting. Leave," Elias snapped, voice guttural. They hesitated. "I said go." They backed out, shutting the door. Elias curled onto his side, shaking, eyes wet. "I didn't understand," he whispered. "I thought you were weak. I didn't see what it cost you just to exist." His throat constricted. "I see it now. I feel it now." The bond pulsed again, and Elias wept. Elias returned to the academy a shadow of what he had been. The once polished prince, sharp-tongued and untouchable, now walked the halls with slumped shoulders and vacant eyes. His eyes never stopped glowing, not with power, but with pain. He stopped attending lectures, stopped sparring. The court whispered, unsure whether to pity him or fear him. He wanted forgiveness. Every night he closed his eyes and reached through the bond. "Zayn, please, let me explain. I was wrong. I see it now. I feel it now. Just let me speak to you." But the silence that returned was deafening. Not rejection, just absence. It gnawed at him. "I never hated you. I just didn't want to accept you." No reply. He felt a trace of the bond, an echo of the dire wolf's breath. Elias knew. It listened. It waited. But it did not answer. And that hurt the most. Zayn sat beneath the hollow of a pine tree, staring into the fire he hadn't fed in hours. The night was still. Too still. The wind didn't move. The forest barely breathed. But the bond pulsed. A soft, aching thrum beneath his skin. The wolf stirred within him. Restless. He's calling again. Zayn didn't reply. He's sorry. Zayn's throat tightened. His fingers curled in the dirt. He's begging. The bond pulsed harder. Then, he heard it. Not with his ears, but in the place behind his heart. "Elias, please." The voice trembled through the bond. "Zayn, I didn't know what I was breaking." Zayn fell to his knees. The fire cracked beside him, but he couldn't feel its warmth. His body shook, not from cold, but from the pressure of the wolf rising. "Shut up, you marked him, you claimed him. He didn't want that. He didn't want us. It's not him that's asking, it's the bond. So, shut up, you don't deserve his forgiveness." Zayn screamed to his own mind, though his voice lacked the venom it once held. But the wolf remembered. It remembered Elias in the courtyard, eyes hard with rejection. It remembered the pain of the bond snapping like a spine, and it remembered every step Zayn took through the rain, bleeding, abandoned. "Let me explain," Elias's voice pleaded again. "Let me see you, please." Zayn's eyes burned, his breath hitched. For so long, silence had been his shield, a wall. But now it was a cage. The wolf growled low. "He is ours, and he's breaking." Zayn's fists hit the earth. Once, twice. A raw sound escaped him. Then slowly he lifted his face to the moonlight. And for the first time, he didn't push the bond away. He let it in. And at that moment, Elias felt a whisper on the other end. "I'm sorry I broke you." Zayn finally decided to answer his calls. Next night, Zayn walked into Elias's dorm at the academy. He stood there just inside the threshold, the quiet hum of the bond pulsing between them like the first breath after drowning. Elias sat at the edge of his bed, wrapped in a thick robe, pale and motionless. He looked up slowly as if afraid to hope. His eyes were red-rimmed, hollow. "Zayn." Zayn said nothing. He stepped forward, each footfall quiet, but heavy with everything unspoken. He stopped halfway across the room, and then he dropped to his knees. Elias's breath caught. Zayn bowed his head, voice cracking. "I need you to hear me. Not as the wolf. Not as the one who marked you. Just me. I was hurt. I was furious. I thought claiming you would fix it, make the pain go away." Zayn's voice trembled. "But I made it worse. I did something unforgivable, and I know that. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm not asking you to accept me, but I am asking, begging, for your forgiveness. And I know that this whole time, the things you said through our bond, I know you didn't mean them. It was just the bond speaking." Elias stood frozen for a moment, then he dropped to his knees too, pulling Zayn into a crushing hug. "It wasn't the bond talking, Zayn. I meant it. I meant all of it. And I want you. I want you with me." Zayn lifted his gaze. "You are free to hate me, Elias, but you'll never stop being my mate, and if you really want me, I promise to spend my whole life making this right for you." "I'm sorry too," Elias whispered. "I hurt you first. I broke you before I even knew you, and I was a coward. their foreheads pressed together, breath mingling. We were both broken, but maybe we can rebuild each other, Zayn said. Elias nodded, tears running freely now. Please, let me try. Let me be better. For you. For us. Zayn cupped his face. Then be mine, not by bond, by choice. I am, Elias breathed. Forever and ever. They kissed then, not to claim, not to possess, but to promise. They finally stood beneath the moon, not as prince and direwolf, not as victim and monster, but as mates, equal, chosen. They held one another through the night, and this time never letting go, choosing it together.